Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Shades of Red podcast. I am hosting along with Cam, Kraigen, and Levi.
What's up?
Start this time by going over last week's games and how we did in our picks. Levi, that is you. Your spreadsheet, or just how we did, because I think last week's games were kind of easy though, if I remember.
Yeah, we got out of the same picks last week.
So I don't have the actual picks of who each person picked.
Oh, that doesn't matter. We just need to know who what our standings are.
Cam definitely went 17-3. I know that. Joey went 18-2.
Yeah.
Cammy went. I wrote it in the chat actually. I don't remember, but the Joey total, you're 29-10. I'm 27-12, and Kraigen is 24-15.
Nice.
And Cam obviously 17-3 because
first week, yeah.
First week, but yeah, Joey went 18-2. The only two he got wrong were Kentucky, which we all got wrong. We didn't know Will Levis was going to play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then what was the other one you got wrong?
It was another one I think we all got wrong. Washington.
Oh yeah, Washington.
Lost to Arizona State.
Yeah.
I prayed on that downfall and it worked.
Sure,
yeah,
you did manifest it. Anyway,
I was almost kind of irritated with last week because the games that I went away from all of you, they a lot of those teams should have won. I picked Kansas, they should have won. They choked it.
They did.
And then I picked Iowa State and they fucking choked it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, what do we think about some of these other teams from last week that we saw? Maybe some crazy games or some crazy scores or games that were closer than they should have been.
The largest score differential for the week in all of college football was in Division III. I think it was 73-0.
Nice.
Which is actually pretty tame because last week the week it was 96-0.
Yeah, there've been some crazy scores in D3 so far. So.
I will say, Kentucky losing, I was still very surprised that South Carolina was able to pull that off.
I wasn't.
Even without Levis.
No, their backup is he's not great.
Yeah, Lynn Bowden bad? Lynn Bowden?
No, it's Kaya Sharon.
No, yeah, but Lynn Bowden was a receiver playing quarterback.
Yeah, but this guy is just I think he's a true freshman being thrown into a SEC matchup in his first game. It's it didn't have the recipe for it to be there. Unless this guy was is an absolute beast.
Yeah, that was a tough first matchup for him.
I think the game that kind of I had a few takeaways from this week. I think Georgia is maybe knocked off the dust that they had for the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn's not good, but still, I mean, to come off a 26-22 win to then win 42-10, I think maybe they've knocked the dust off. But I guess I'm not going to say we'll see this week because they should handle Vanderbilt. But if they don't handle Vanderbilt, then, they could be in big trouble.
Vanderbilt's been, even last week against Ole Miss, Vanderbilt was ahead at halftime and then just shit the bed in the second half.
Yeah, we had that game on over the weekend at a pizza place that we went to with a bunch of family, and there was an Ole Miss fan there with us, and Ole Miss in the second half just lit it up.
They were down at half, weren't they, Ole Miss?
Yeah, it was 20-17.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's, Vanderbilt is bound to do this against one team every year. But their problem is they can't keep up. Once the second half hits, I mean, they get their ass kicked. But I mean, this would be a big week, at least for the Georgia front, on because if they struggle against Vanderbilt, then they're gonna have serious questions about what this team.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
I also was very shocked. I know that Bryce Young didn't play, but I was also very shocked Alabama only beat A&M by 4.
Yeah. I don't know how we were watching that game on the couch, and it was very stressful. It was.
And
A&M was driving, getting everything they needed in the last drive, and then defense just held up and made a stand real quick.
if
They didn't win. So
if Haynes King would have just looked left instead of right, he would have had the touchdown to win the game. He pulled a Russell Wilson and he just stared one dude down.
yeah.
And the guy
we
never
were
got
lucky to get out of that.
ball.
Yeah, Alabama was really lucky to get out of that one.
Jalen Burrow honestly did not look good at all.
Yeah, he still looks really raw, and there's some glimpses there.
He's a good runner, but
the arm still needs more work. So
yeah,
he just needs more reps. So, which is hard when you have a Heisman winner in front of you. So
he'll get more reps next year.
Alabama's
zone,
but
yeah. I mean, back to that Georgia take real quick about possibly struggling against Vanderbilt. Both the games they've looked shaky in this year were lower opposition, Kent State and Missouri. So there could be good argument there for Vanderbilt to maybe do the same a little bit there. Maybe Georgia's not taking them as seriously again, but you'd think after 2 games of struggling like that, and
I mean,
they're fixing it. So
honestly,
he's going to at least cover the 30.5 spread they have right now.
I don't know. Because it's like
enough to cover, but it's the way Georgia's been playing. Maybe
it's really just tough to go with Georgia because last week they covered the spread where we didn't think they would.
The spread is 30. They're not covering that.
They covered it last week, and we didn't think they would either. It was 29.5.
They barely got it.
Then again, Vanderbilt has a better offense than Auburn does.
They're not covering it.
Another game that was really close, and the upset team was ahead for a pretty good deal of it, was Texas Tech over Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that was a really good game.
It was. It actually ended up being a lot better than I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah. 34-31 final, right? That was a very good game.
Yeah.
It was it kind of was starting to border on a Big 12 matchup, and then it kind of died down in the second half for the scoring.
Yeah.
Because going in the half was 24-20, and you're thinking, oh shit, this game's going to end the 50s. But
yeah.
They calmed it down. Spencer Sanders didn't have, a good I would say he didn't have a great game.
Yeah.
Up to his usual standard.
So far. Sorry, Kim, go ahead.
No, just up to his usual standard.
Yeah, exactly. Same point here.
But he has games where he's really good. And he has other games where he's not really good. And I think especially this one, being below 50% passing, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, below 50%. That's really bad for him.
But I mean,
him especially. He's typically better about accuracy and stuff.
Yeah, we'll see going into the season. I mean, he hasn't played good against either Big 12 team that they've played. However, I guess on a decent note for him, maybe the two Big 12 teams that he's played are pretty much the only two that give a shit about defense. So
They got a murderer's row of opponents, though, these next 4 games. They got TCU on the road, Texas at home, Oklahoma State on the road against Kansas State, and then they get Kansas on the road as well. So he's going to really have to step up if he wants to maintain Oklahoma State's chances of making the playoffs.
you said Kansas twice. Oh, no, you said TCU.
Kansas State.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they
9 a.m.
they got a schedule coming up, but again, first game TCU, it's going to be a shootout. We saw a glimpse of it with Kansas. You know, that game was kind of low, and then it just broke open, and they were just scoring, and they were just scoring, and they were just scoring. So I think that game could end up being one of these ridiculous Big 12 scores that we get. I think, this could change, but I think they will end up maybe losing to Texas. But again, we'll see, I guess, see how they played this week against TCU, how that is going forward.
Does anyone know what happened to Cincinnati this week? Because they only beat USF by 4.
They,
It was 28-24 final. I didn't see that to begin with.
They were down for a while in that game. Their home streak almost ended. I didn't catch the whole game. But maybe it was just like, I don't know, they just probably underestimated USF.
Yeah, maybe.
They've not been good this year. Their quarterback is really not good. Look, last game they only beat Tulsa by 10. Tulsa's really bad.
Who did they lose to?
Arkansas.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, a team like Cincinnati is going to be really hard to replace all the talent they put out into the NFL. So
yeah, they were a real senior-laden team last year, and they lost all that. Tim Thorpe Award winner.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter, one of the quarterbacks. Who else was it? Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
But look, I'm going through Cincinnati's history, and they really all of their South Florida games are really close. So I don't know if it's just I don't think it's a rivalry, but I think maybe that just might be one of their matchups that they just struggle with every year. It's just kind of what it is. Every game decided within 13 points. How bad or good Cincinnati is.
Yeah, another game. Brent Key at Georgia Tech turning it around, winning in overtime over Duke by 3, 23-20. That's his second win in 2 games.
No.
Is he cooking something up?
Maybe. Matt Rule just got fired by the Panthers this week, too, so, there are going to be teams looking for him.
No way. Look, they would be fucking stupid. This is the best this program has been in 6 years.
Oh, yeah, there's no way yeah.
Right now is the best they've been in 6 years. You better fucking re-sign that dude. If he gets 3 wins, if he wins next week, or they play next week, right?
No, they play. They don't play this weekend. They play next week.
Who do they play? They play Virginia. Which they'll probably win.
They can win that one. Yeah, they can win that game.
He will win more games in 3 games than Jeff Collins won every single year in the whole season.
Yeah, that's true.
In 3 games. You fucking keep that dude. You absolutely keep that guy.
Who was it the other day we were looking at that was actually at Georgia Tech with him in the early 2000s? Was it Paul Christ?
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Yeah, that's right.
But again, look, if it goes off the rails from here and they lose out, then yeah, I'll do it. But I'm telling you, if they're going to play like this for the rest of the year, you might as well just keep Brent Key, Because if you don't, he's going to go somewhere else. And by the looks of it, he's a pretty good coach.
Yeah, I mean, the players were like really upset, and they were pissed when Collins got fired.
They've been playing so much better since Jeff Collins is not. I don't know who's play calling there. I'm not in with Georgia Tech. They just look so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not because they play Duke, and they just look better as a team. So, I mean, absolutely. If it works worst and like they fucking suck for the rest of the year, then I would switch it. But right now, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Keep him. Any other games? North Carolina beats Miami by 3 despite Tyler Van Dyke having 496 passing yards and 3 touchdowns.
You mean just an average QB day against North Carolina?
Yeah, pretty much. Unless your name is Grant Wells. Yeah. Oh, Texas State beats App State. I forgot about that by 12, 36-24.
What the hell is App State this year, man?
It was 24-3 at half too. So.
To them, best team in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Dare to come up the mountain, they said.
Illinois beat Iowa. Illinois is now ranked for the first time in God knows how long.
11 years.
11 years. Okay. Yep.
After Kansas got ranked, they had the longest drought of being ranked, and they took that seriously because they're not 5-1. They're 1 game away from being bowl eligible. Who would have thought? Illinois and Nebraska leading the Big Ten West this past week.
Yeah, and Nebraska getting their second win under an interim coach, beating Rutgers.
Yep. Yeah, that was a crazy game. Rutgers was up for most of it, 13-0 at one point, I think, and then their quarterback started throwing interceptions. Nebraska was starting to get going on defense, and then the offense turned up and won. So
yeah,
that was a
revenge game.
I was so confused because we were talking about Nebraska Rutgers. I was like, I watched that game, but I was like, why the fuck would I watch a Nebraska Rutgers game? Like that is, why would I do that? And I remember it was Friday night and I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Friday night. That is true.
I just remember the game, and I'm like, and I was just thinking, I'm like, why the fuck did I watch that? I'm gonna find something better.
Yeah, we had it on just because we have some Cornhuskers in our group. So.
Yeah, he's been MIA from this podcast, though. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he has disappeared. He's not been here since like episode 4 or something like that. I don't know.
Sure, that's good.
Hey, did we talk about Joey's other favorite team, Notre Dame, picking up a win against BYU?
I'm fine with that. I picked Notre Dame to win this
Vegas.
I really like. I like seeing different teams be good.
Yeah.
And I really wanted BYU to be good. They're just not.
It's hilarious you say that, but you prey on the downfall of Kansas and Duke.
That's different. They already get enough happiness.
Wait a minute. Didn't Levi say last week? He says anytime a new team gets good, he wants to hate on them and prey on their downfall. Yes. But now he's like, I want new teams to be good.
Only a certain new teams.
And only the teams he likes.
The agenda. It's for the agendas.
Yeah, I'll decide what teams I want to be good. BYU is one of them. Kansas and Duke are not.
I do not want BYU to be good.
In the happiness and basketball season, you don't need football season. Just leave us alone.
You can't have both?
No, you can't. You don't get both.
You gonna say something about Illinois then? They're 5-1. They're decent at basketball too.
This is ending. That's ending. This is not going. I'm not even worried about that one. But remember how unbearable Florida fans were when they won the basketball and football championship? Oh my god, it was awful.
Yeah, imagine being an Ohio State fan in that time period.
All right. Game that we talked about before we started recording. Texas Oklahoma. Not much of a rivalry this year.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. It's a really bad look for Vrabel's being a defensive guy. they got 49.
Rabels, Venables.
Venables.
Venables, yeah, thank you.
Mike Vrabel. Mike
Who did I
Vrabel.
say, Vrabel?
That man's
Mike
Tennessee.
Vrabel.
Hey, they'll both be SEC country next year.
He's not getting fired.
Yeah, no, he's not getting fired, but he's had a really shaky start to his tenure so far. It's been up and down all over the place.
Dude, CoachHotSeatRanking.com has him third. Sorry,
They
not
lost
fourth.
a lot.
The funniest tweet I saw was Oklahoma hired Venables to change the all offense, no defense scheme, and he succeeded in half of it because he got rid of all offense. No, he got rid of all offense.
Yeah.
I just want to personally come out and apologize to Texas for saying that Oklahoma's offense was better and that they were going to win because, my God, they looked like fucking ass and Quinn Ewers fucking killed them.
Can we I just want to bring up something from this game. Oklahoma had 5 people attempt a pass. None of them were Dylan Gabriel or General Booty. What the fuck is going on?
Well, actually, General Booty was a big part of this game. He was the whole offense because that offense was generally Booty.
That was a stupid joke, but
Yep.
they had 4 running backs attempt a pass.
4 running backs.
And then the interception from Eric Gray sealed the whole deal. Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't.
He tried to do a jump pass, and instead of throwing it, he basketball shot at it. And it went right into a Texas player's hands.
Wow.
It was so bad. That was, yeah. I mean, they didn't have a 200 yards of offense.
Wow. That's really bad for a Big 12 team.
I'll gain 585 to 195. Good God, man.
I mean, they just got absolutely pummeled in every single statistic on here.
How does Oklahoma respond to this? Getting literally shut out by your biggest rival. How do you bounce back from this? You're on a 3-game losing streak. You've given up an average of 45 points in this time frame. You were ranked 6th, and now you're unranked. Probably not going to be ranked unless you reel off a big run to end the season. How do you come back from this?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what they do this week.
Yeah, we'll find out real quick who the leaders in the locker room are and how they do as leaders.
Speaking of Oklahoma, in this week they play Kansas, and there have been reports that come out saying that Jalen. Hang on.
He's not playing this week. I don't give a fuck what he tweets. He's not playing this week.
There are reports saying that he has shoulder separation, but then he quotes the tweet saying that he's surprised because he didn't know this news.
I don't know what the long-term thing of it is, but I find it very hard to believe that he's going to play this week for 2 reasons. One, it's shoulder injury, and usually, if it was minor, they would have came out and said that by now. 2, with the way that their backup quarterback played last week, they should feel very confident about letting him rest and get healthy.
Oh yeah, especially with a team that has a defense like Oklahoma.
Well, it's not even that. The backup came in last week, went 16 of 24 for 262 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
I mean, he was fucking on fire. So, I mean, there's literally no drop off in their offense from when Daniels left and Jason Bean got on there. So I think you let him rest, and let your backup work.
Take over, yeah. Get some working, yeah. Any other games you want to talk about from this past week?
Did we talk about the Arizona teams?
We did not. I wasn't going to bring it up, but
Last week I said that I was gonna pray on Arizona State beating Washington.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm the reason, but it's looking like it.
you pray on the downfall of Kansas, they lose. You pray on the downfall of Washington, they lose.
I did not pray on the downfall of Kansas.
You said
wanted them
it
to
before last week.
No. Hold on. I picked them to win, first of all.
Yeah, but you still wanted them to lose.
I would not mind if they lose, but I still thought that they would win.
What you should have done was pray on the downfall of Oklahoma State, so Texas Tech would have won.
No, I like Oklahoma State. I've already said if I were to bandwagon a team, it would be Oklahoma State.
Didn't you say you wanted Texas Tech to be so good, though?
I mean, I did.
Good.
He does for their fans, though. He wants their fans to be happy.
It's not just because of making NC State's schedule look good. Because I'm not giving up on the season, but we have enough problems with ourselves. But they're when they came into town, their fans were the coolest people. All the tailgates, everybody was mingling, and in the stadium it was all friends. It was a really good they were really cool, and so I just want them to be good because they deserve it. They've gone through a lot. That's kind of being an NC State fan, and so I kind of hope that they get a good season. Not going to be this year, but maybe soon.
Yeah, they've got some really good fans. Glad you got to touch on that.
All right.
Oh wait, we didn't talk about I thought this was game of the week. Personally, was UCLA versus Utah.
Oh yeah, you're right. UCLA getting the upset over Utah.
I thought that was such a good game.
Yeah, UCLA looks scary. They're good. Utah has had some problems. I don't know what they're doing now, but they're not anything what they were projected to be.
Personally, I kind of saw the downfall when they lost their tight end, who was
Brent Kuthi. He's
I don't want
good.
I don't want to compare him, but he's kind of what the Travis Kelce is to the Kansas City offense. He's such a pivotal part.
Yeah, he's going to be an pro for sure.
Yeah,
his backup Dalton Kincaid is pretty good too, but
when they lost him,
they used multi-tight end sets a lot. So losing a guy like that, NFL talent, is really tough.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of saw it, and I still thought that they would be able to handle it, but I don't think they're gonna. I think they lost a lot more.
They don't really have receiving talent to replace them, so
they came a lot more
heavier on their run game a lot now.
Yeah, they just
they already a little bit.
They can't, even as a tight end, they can't spread the offense out as good. They don't really. Nobody's really scared of the receivers. You said Kincaid, but again, if you're worried, if you're preparing for him, you're going to worry about Rising or Thomas running and not really throwing now. So, and UCLA just. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. A lot about Utah's defense, but they just made them look like fucking shit.
Yeah, Utah's defense is typically pretty good. They rotate a lot, and they send guys to the NFL. And they've got a defensive-minded coach, Whittingham. He typically replaces and does really well with the defense, but there's been some issues this year.
I mean, DTR, 5 touchdowns, 300 yards. The running back, 200 yards. I mean, they were just all over.
Yeah, I'm kind of big on DTR.
Yeah.
He's the only reason I really picked UCLA to win that game. What were you saying, Kraigen?
Yeah, DTR and Charbonnet are just crazy talents. They're very good.
Yeah.
So I think they're
in the Chip Kelly offense, especially. They're just eating it up. So
I think they're in store for a really good year. We're going to see their next game because they don't play this week, but their next game is at Oregon, and that's going to be their biggest game of the season.
That should be a really good game.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, Utah's obviously good, but this is going to test them a lot more being away to Oregon. So this is their biggest game of the season. I mean, and if they get through this, we might possibly, again, they have to get past Oregon, but we might possibly get an undefeated matchup between USC and UCLA.
That'd be a really good game.
Yeah, that should be really good. And if they get past Oregon, you should expect them to be undefeated going into that because Arizona State, and
USC,
Stanford.
USC really has to get past Utah this week, and I think that they'll do that. But yeah.
All right. Is that it for the past weekend's games, I believe?
Yeah.
All right. No coaches were fired this past weekend, but have you heard any other coaches' names to be brought up or think of anyone to be taken by any team that isn't satisfied with their current interim?
No, I mean, I think pretty much the results that happened last week were just kind of on what was already going on.
Yeah. I agree.
Let's see. I don't think anything really happened last week other, obviously, the Oklahoma thing, but, I don't think anything really happened that would, was major in terms of, impacting a coach's status.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, the only one that I could maybe think of was Brian Harsin.
Yeah, there's just constant talk about him, though.
In terms of these SEC schools, Jimbo Fisher, Brian Harsin, Elijah Drinkwitz, the talk's going to go on all season, but we won't, unless something stupid really happens, then you're probably not going to get an answer to anything within the regular season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Everything. I think for the most part, everything now is going to be either towards the end of the year or after the season. But I don't see any firings happening mid-season at this point.
Usually not to this point. Usually that's something you kind of we're halfway through the season now. As sucky as that seems.
It doesn't feel.
That's something, coaching firings. That's kind of something that you would do at the beginning of the season if you're going to do it. It's kind of pointless to do it now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Again, but that's barring any scandals or anything crazy that comes up.
And some teams may be just waiting for cheaper buyouts and things like that.
As the season goes on, you're going to hit your cheaper buyouts, so you might as well wait and ride out the season.
Yeah, because I think it's only a month away until a lot of buyouts start dropping.
The only one, again, and this is going to be a conversation that's going to go on for a while, is I think even though relative, they're not the biggest football school, what Texas A&M does with Jimbo Fisher is going to be such a hot topic for possibly years to come, because I don't see a way that they can afford an $86 million buyout.
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, how do they justify the performances too? Because they're recruiting really well. So
yeah,
didn't they have the top recruiting class this past year?
Yeah. And so I don't know how they do it. And the thing is, if Jimbo didn't have this ridiculous buyout, he would have been gone already. If he had the same buyout that Scott Frost or one of them had, which is $35 million range, he would have been gone. But $86 million, I don't know how you do that.
I don't think they can afford to buy him out for another 2 or 3 years at least.
Well, next year goes to 79, and then after that it's 68. And so, I mean, still 68.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, I'm not buying a coach out for 68 million. I'm sorry. I'll let him ride.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, unless Bill Gates becomes a donor.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I don't know how they do it.
They really thought Jimbo was going to be the next Saban.
Which is silly to think. I mean, even at the time, I thought that the hire wasn't. I didn't when they hired him, I didn't think it was an awful hire. I thought it was one that Jimbo's a good recruiter when he is afforded the money that Florida State was not giving him, and I
Yeah.
thought maybe that he could get a school like Texas A&M to turn it around. He has recruiting. It's just he's not adapted to how to win in the SEC.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, do we want to go to standout players, or do you think we've covered players enough this week, and you want to head on to these coming games?
We can go to these coming games.
Yeah, sure. Let's head into next week's games. Do you want to do picks first, and then talk about other games after?
Yeah, we can. It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, Levi, it's all you.
It's me.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going line. Also, for this week, I wrote down a couple a couple facts for each game, like fun facts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say and then like fun facts, and then we can go into our picks. So first game on here is noon Fox top 10 matchup. Number 10 Penn State travels to number 5 Michigan. Couple facts: the last 5 matchups, Penn State is winning 3-2, and this is the second only ever top 10 matchup between these two schools. The only other one was November 8th, 1997. Michigan won 34-8.
Wow. Both shots had been it was 38-4 or 34-8.
Yep, and that was in Michigan too, by the way.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
tough loss.
I kind of
Was
like
Michigan-
Michigan in Michigan. I see they're a 7-point favorite.
That was Michigan's split national championship year of Nebraska.
I just haven't been. Obviously, Joey's going to bring up his favorite team, Auburn, but I haven't been that impressed with Penn State this year. And that's not to say that Michigan's completely blown me away as a great team, but Penn State's really struggled. In some of the games they shouldn't be, like Central Michigan, Northwestern.
Yeah.
In the Northwestern defense, it was pouring like crazy.
That goes for both teams.
Yeah, but still, you really expected to blow out teams when it's just going to be running the ball the entire time.
I was
Well,
gonna
it's
say,
not more of the blowout. It's more of like
It's more that they're playing Northwestern.
well, not nearly that. 'Cause, I mean, when it gets to a certain point, weather is a factor. But they that game easily could have gone to overtime, and I don't think Penn State should have let it even. I mean, honestly, Penn State probably shouldn't even let them score in those conditions.
yeah, I'll take Michigan in this one.
Much less a 47-yard passing touchdown. First of all,
Yeah,
So,
give me number 5 Michigan over Penn State.
I want so badly for Penn State to win this game. I want it so badly. And this was in Happy Valley, I'd probably pick them, but just because of Blake Corum as a sneaky Heisman candidate that people should be talking about more, I feel like Michigan will hold them off and they'll win a close game. I'll probably say they win like 20 to like 17 or something like that.
Yeah, and that's also something that if this was a proper Happy Valley Penn State like night game, I think Penn State wins this game. But I think it's just I think it's the atmosphere will be dead enough to where Michigan can win because it's a noon game.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be the stadium will be rocking, but it's still it doesn't have the same feel as a night game does.
Yeah. This would be a huge win for James Franklin though, if he gets it. Especially Ohio State coming up. This would be huge for him.
If they win this game though, and because they win this game, they have Minnesota next week, and I think they'd win that game. But then they got Ohio State after that, and that's gonna be, it'll be whoever wins that goes to the playoff most likely. But again, they have to get through Michigan, which is gonna be a problem. But so I have Michigan winning also.
Kraigen?
Yeah, I've got Michigan as well. I don't know much about Penn State. They have been struggling a little bit, and then Michigan, I do like. J.J. McCarthy looks like he's been solid so far since coming in.
All right, so next one is noon again. I feel like we have a lot of noon ranked games this year.
Yeah.
Noon on ESPN. Auburn travels to number 9 Ole Miss.
Oh boy,
Auburn has won the last 6 meetings between Auburn and Mississippi. Auburn has not given up 30 points to Ole Miss since 2014. And Ole Miss' last win at home versus Auburn that was not vacated was 2008.
Not vacated.
To be fair, there's only one vacated win. So it's not like there was a bunch of them. The last one that was not vacated that's still properly recognized was 2008. So 14 years since the NCAA recognizes a win for Ole Miss against Auburn.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wouldn't have expected that, but I think I'm taking Ole Miss in here anyway.
Yeah, I think this should be a pretty straightforward win for Ole Miss.
I don't know. I have no reason to say or think this, but give me Auburn.
Oh, of course.
Oh my God! Fuck you. I have no reason.
No reason to say or think this from the man that works in the Auburn team store.
Yeah.
I guess Hart's just kind of coaching for his job at this point. If he loses this one, I guess you send him packing. I don't know. That's what Auburn fans say.
But look, if Auburn wins this game, then Ole Miss is never beating Auburn, and I don't give a fuck. If they can't beat this Auburn team, they're not beating another Auburn team again.
I just think it'd be funny if they didn't win.
So that's why you're picking Auburn?
Yeah, sure.
Because it'd be funny.
It would be funny.
I'm just hoping that one of these stats actually sways one of you to like switch your team that you pick. Like, well, I was going to pick them, but now that I heard that.
Well, honestly, you said, I mean, I don't know, it's a completely different stats. Different coordinators this year. I don't know. Give me Auburn.
Okay, you idiot.
Brother.
Next game, noon ESPN2, number 19 Kansas travels to Oklahoma. Oklahoma has won the last 17 meetings between these two schools. The last time Kansas was ranked before this season was October 24th, 2009.
Yep.
And that streak, that drought of not being ranked was started by Oklahoma, who was the team that beat them that day to get them unranked.
It's a nice little...
I have a question about this season. How long has Oklahoma been shut out? When was the last time they scored?
That they,
Like,
who knows?
I know it was TCU. Was it like fourth quarter TCU or was it like third quarter TCU?
So you're saying they've been shut
Fourth
out
quarter.
for
They
like
scored
5
7 in the fourth quarter, so they're only in 4 straight shutout innings.
innings?
Yeah, quarters. Sorry.
He's watching playoff baseball right now.
um, like you said, like you mentioned earlier, Kansas' backup quarterback's done really well. Oklahoma's struggling. Venables has to prove something here. Um, I think they play some defense this week. I don't know if they get offensive going. Give me Kansas.
This is such a unique game. Like, I feel like Oklahoma has to, like, they have to be better. Like, and what a perfect way to, like, do that. When everyone thinks they're down and out after getting shut out by their biggest rival, and they come in and beat Kansas at home. Like, they have they have nothing to lose at this point. In Kansas.
I have two things to say.
What?
Okay, number one is that I think, like, how ass backwards this season is that Oklahoma is relying on winning against Kansas to get their season back on track. That's number one. Number two is I agree. I don't know if you actually pick Oklahoma, but I am picking Oklahoma. I don't know. I just find it hard to pick a team that has not won and that they have not won in Oklahoma since 1997.
Actually, I digress.
I just
a lot of 1997 talk in these matchups, man.
I'm gonna revert my pick to Oklahoma just because if they win, Kansas will be unranked and again begin another drought that started in October caused by Oklahoma.
Yes, and so
Give me
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
I'm a fan of that storyline. I like that.
I swayed somebody. Yes. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah. I'm taking Oklahoma as well. Just similar reasoning from you and Cam. I think they need a bounce back win. They need to get back on track, and this is a great game to do it. Like you said, Jalen Daniels is supposed to be out, right?
At least for
they have not.
All right, Levi. I'm going
Yeah.
back to Kansas. I'm not going to pick with the same guy who picked Stanford over Oregon or whatever.
This guy just picked Auburn over Ole Miss, and now he's going against someone because of a bad pick.
I mean,
It's
Kansas,
not Stanford.
I'm just going to win.
So as of 3 days ago, so as of today, actually, Drake Stoops says that Dylan Gabriel is going to play.
Nice.
So I would assume that he is going to play.
That means they would have an offense, sort of.
Also, if you don't know who Drake Stoops is, that's what's his face's son. That's a wide receiver for Oklahoma.
Bob.
Yeah. I couldn't get the name out, but yeah, that's his son that plays for Oklahoma, and he says that he's going to play. So I would assume he's going to play.
And if Oklahoma does not win this game, I'm not picking them for the rest of the year in any ranked matchups. So I mean, they better pull it out because if not, they're done. They're going 7-5 somehow, but they're not getting a pick from me.
All right, so we're going to stay in the Big 12. ABC noon. Iowa State travels to number 22 Texas. Iowa State has actually they're winning the last 5 matchups 3-2, and they're on a 3-game winning streak against Texas. They've won the last 3. Iowa State, as a program, is 2-9 at Texas. And Quinn Ewers is back, and he joins a long line of quarterbacks that have been from Texas that play for Texas. They've only had one quarterback since 2002 that was not born in the state of Texas.
Who was that quarterback?
It was Casey Thompson, Nebraska quarterback.
Wow.
The one that broke it was Chris Sims, New Jersey, 2002.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Iowa State. They're Iowa State. Give me Texas.
Yeah, Iowa State's about to be 2-10 in Austin. So
After seeing what Texas did and proving me wrong
First of
and
all,
saying I was a dumbass, I'm picking
What did-
Texas all the way.
what did Kraigen just say?
I
They're
just said
about
they're going to be 2-10
2-10.
in Austin because he said they were 2-10.
I thought he said they're going to be 2
Yeah.
and 10 here. I was like, first of all, it's not
No.
possible.
No, he said in Austin. Yeah.
I agree. I think they're gonna go 2 and 10 in Austin. I mean, as much as they struggled last week against Kansas State, I'm not saying Texas is better than Kansas State because I mean, I think they play this year, right?
I will now. I'll say Texas is better than Kansas State with Quinn Ewers. I'll say it right now.
Yeah, they play them in Manhattan.
Yeah,
so
I'll say a lot better.
I'm not saying they're better, but if they can only put up 9 against Kansas State, it's not going to be good enough to beat Texas.
Yeah. They only put up 11 against Kansas.
Yeah, they play November 5th, and it's at Kansas State.
Yeah, that's what he said
Yeah.
in Manhattan.
Little Big Apple.
No, Kansas.
No, that's what it's
called
called.
Manhattan, the Little Big Apple. Because
You said Little Big Apple. I thought you said just the Big Apple. Like, no. But yeah.
All right, so again, another noon game.
Yeah, new game.
In a normal year, no one would give a fucking rat's ass about this game. But here we are in the Big Ten Network. Minnesota travels to number 24, Illinois. Minnesota at 5 is up 3-2. So we have a lot of 3-2s in the last 5. The last time Illinois was ranked was October 22nd, 2011. And Minnesota's last ranked away win was on November 22nd, 2014 against number 21 Nebraska, 28-24.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun fact about this game, this is a game with the top 2 scoring defenses right now. So, obviously, for all the bettors that are listening, that means you hammer the over and get more money out of this.
Ibrahim is returning from Minnesota this week.
You would hammer the under.
He is or not.
He is. He will be back.
All right, then Minnesota wins this.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm confused. Why would you hammer the over if they have the best 2 scoring defenses?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
People would probably expect it to be very low, and that's why you pick the under. The over. No one will expect it. No one will expect this game to be high scoring.
First of all, the over-under for this game is 39.
Yeah.
So
that's 15. Oh, wait.
I would have hit the over anyway. But
no, 24-15. Yeah, I was trying to think of a score at a 39. But if they score in the 20s, it's already over.
I can see it with Mo coming back. Maybe a defensive touchdown or something. Yeah, it's a very intriguing game for me, especially Big Ten West title aspirations for both of them. Who would have thought with these two this late in the season? But I think I'm going to go Illinois with an upset. I feel like they will be able to get this win since they're at home. That's probably the main reason why I'm picking them, because they're at home. And it'd be nice to have some new blood in the Big Ten West instead of having Wisconsin and Northwestern be the ones. So I'd pick Illinois.
Oh, you picked Illinois?
Yeah.
Oh, let me change that. I thought you said you picked Minnesota. The rest of you picked Minnesota, right?
Yeah, I picked Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota.
I picked Minnesota. Well,
We're finally
back MVP train. Or not MVP, but Heisman for college. Yeah.
We're finally away from the noon games, so guys.
Let's go. Oh, no more noon games.
3:30 SEC Network. Vanderbilt travels to number 1 Georgia.
Game of the week.
Brother.
Georgia is 4-1 in the last 5. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Vandy give them a little credit. They have scored at least 13 points the last 3 games in Athens.
Good job, Vanderbilt.
And
They've gotten in the end zone.
Georgia has not given up 200 passing yards to Vanderbilt since 2015.
It was only 7 years.
That's a lot of years to not give up. It's not like they're playing easy.
Yeah, if we don't go like unanimous Georgia here, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, just like I was surprised where we didn't go unanimous Ole Miss, but to each their own.
Yeah.
But obviously, I feel like Georgia will win. If they cover, who knows? But it should be obvious, Georgia. They have to show up like they're a top team eventually, even though they're already number one again. But, I mean, this is a perfect time to do it. Vanderbilt's the bottom of the SEC as usual, and they're at home. They have no excuse not to pour it on them. So I'm picking Georgia to blow them out. Should be the same for the rest of my co-host here.
I mean,
I definitely
technically speaking, Missouri has a worse record, but
Yeah.
I
was gonna say I don't know if they're bottom of the SEC, but okay.
I definitely think they should blow them out, but whether they do, I guess, is another question.
they've struggled with the lower teams like Kent State and Missouri a little bit this year. So
I'm
they had
guessing
struggled against Auburn, but they got to continue that and play well here.
We'll see what
Especially
Clark Lee has in store for us now. I hope Vanderbilt wins. I'm just gonna pick Georgia though.
If Vanderbilt wins, it's the greatest upset in college football history.
I agree. I'd be there for it.
Yeah,
I don't know about
that'd
the
be
greatest,
fun,
but
but Georgia's winning.
it'd be
No,
pretty.
that would be to beat the number 1 team in their house.
Yeah.
At a 38-point underdog.
Yeah, with them coming off a natty too.
I don't even think Appalachian State was a 38-point underdog to Michigan.
No, I think it's 27.
I don't even think there was a spread for that game.
No, there was.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. As I said earlier, I could bet on a person throwing a rock in an ocean. I can bet on fucking App State.
They were 33-point underdogs.
There you go. So Vanderbilt is a higher underdog.
Yeah.
I think it's a bigger upset, personally, especially Georgia being the number 1 team.
And then
Regardless.
when Vanderbilt wins this weekend, all 12 Vanderbilt fans will rush the field.
They're not going to, but
No.
would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to save this game to last, but
Okay.
I'm going to skip it. But y'all know what game I'm talking
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
about. So 3:30 ABC, number 8 Oklahoma State travels to number 13 TCU.
You guys who don't know what game Levi's talking about, it's Toledo versus Kent State, obviously. So we're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that.
TCU is 3-2 in the last 5 meetings. These two teams have met 32 times before, and only one time has the losing team scored 30 points. Which for the Big 12 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And the last time that this matchup was a ranked matchup was 2017, and Oklahoma State won that day.
I like Duggan at TCU. I think TCU is really hot right now. Oklahoma State struggled a little last week against Texas Tech. I like TCU in this one, and they're at home.
Yeah. It's really hard to pick against TCU in this, I think, but I'm going Oklahoma State.
Oh my god, I wrote TCU, you fucking...
Get better ears, dude.
Why are you beating around the fucking bush?
Clean your
I
ears.
really like
Hard.
I really
It's
like
hard
Oklahoma
against
State.
TCU, but I'm gonna do it. Oklahoma State.
Yeah. I really like Oklahoma State. They're really good. I can't really bet against them. Give me Oklahoma State.
Dude, this game is so tough. Like,
Yeah, this is going to be a field goal or less. difference.
This might be the toughest game of the week to decide, honestly, in my opinion, for this game.
Yeah.
In a crash,
Because TCU killed Oklahoma, and then they just, although Jalen Daniels did go out, I feel like, I'm not going to say they would have lost if he would have stayed in the entire game, and they still put up 38 points on the road. So, give me TCU by a game-winning field goal. We're riding the Duggan trade all the way to
all the way
Jerry's.
to a loss.
I picked Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
That's bias.
There was no football reasoning for that decision.
So it's 3 versus 1 here. I'm the only one who picked TCU.
No, Joey did.
No, I picked TCU.
Yeah, we're split. I really don't want this game.
Oh, yes. The Sean Tucker game.
Number 15, NC State versus number 18, Syracuse, ACC Network, 3:30. NC State is up 4-1 in the last 5. NC State leads the all-time series 13-2. And the only other time this is a ranked matchup was 2018, and Syracuse won that game 51-41. And I can assure you it is not going to be that score, because if we put up 41 points, I'll be fucking amazed.
It's in the Carrier Dome. Dino Babers is coaching in his hot seat year. I think he's kind of saved himself off that. I don't think he's too much coaching for his job now, but it is the Carrier Dome. It is hard to win in Syracuse. I'll take Syracuse.
I'm looking at Syracuse's schedule, and they really haven't played anybody. So
Doesn't matter.
I don't know about that. Taking
2
NC State.
words. Sean Tucker. That's all you need for Syracuse. Give me Syracuse and the points.
You picking the over on that one too, bud?
Yep. I know that he'd be very pleased with his performance.
So I will throw out a couple facts. I'm not telling you to switch your pick. However, so far this season, 85% of NC State's running plays, the runner has been hit before the line of scrimmage.
On whose running plays?
NC State.
Oh.
85%.
NC State, like NC State's run defense gets to the running back.
Yeah.
Like 85% of the time.
85% of the time, the first hit on the running back comes before the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's not swaying me. Sean Tucker.
I'm not telling you to, but I'm just
you were
saying.
down 17-3 to Florida State. I don't know.
Florida State isn't bad.
No, they're not bad this year. I mean, nothing wrong with that. You had to come back.
That was not because of our defense. Our offense literally did nothing. The entire first half did not. They didn't fucking do a single thing. And so our defense.
Well, here's a question: do you think they actually changed it up and do something this week?
I don't even know who's quarterback.
Was Larry hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Syracuse. Yeah.
Yeah, Larry's hurt.
Actually, the backup might be better. I might switch to NC State. No, I'm going to stick with Syracuse.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
I'll be expecting Sunday afternoon. Sean Tucker is very pleased with his performance tweet after Syracuse wins 31-20.
No, I don't think we give up 31. I think this game is going to end up being somewhere like 20, 21-17 or something stupid like that.
Syracuse always keeps it really low scoring when it comes to division games, conference games.
Yeah, I mean they're only other. I mean they beat Louisville 31-7, but Virginia was 20-20, and Virginia's defense is horrid.
Their offense is too.
Their whole team's horrid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it goes I would be genuinely shocked if it goes to 30. I'm not saying it. I guess I'm not saying it won't because I mean anything's possible with NC State, but I would be really shocked if we gave up. I think the only teams that will give up 32 are Clemson and Wake.
And that's just because they're so
That's because they're. I mean, yeah.
High-powered
they're off.
offenses.
Yeah, their offense. Yeah,
Cammy, who did you pick?
he didn't.
I picked
Uh,
NC State.
Oh.
Yeah, I just don't think Syracuse has played anybody. So.
I picked NC State for not football reasons also. So
Also biased.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I just wanted one good season, man.
Bowl eligibility game. Winner gets to be bowl eligible.
I don't give a fuck about being bowl eligible. We fired our last coach because that was the standard, and now I want. Honestly, at this point, I want 10 wins, and it's not going to happen. But I want it.
You can get 10 wins.
There's nothing
Maybe.
about truck
Maybe.
accidents except
Yeah, dude. Have you watched this team this season? Do you think this is a 10-win team? If
I've
this is
not
a 10-win
watched.
team,
No.
if this is a 10-win team, then everybody can get 10 wins. We're really not that good.
Yeah, if they don't win this game, at least they get Virginia Tech after their bye. So
True. That'll be an
make-
easy
make-
win.
Just
2
rub
buys in a
salt.
row.
Shabbat Shalom. Say what?
All right. Next game is 4:00. Sunbelt action. ESPN Plus. Number 25, James Madison travels to Georgia Southern. This will be breaking news. The first ever meeting between these two teams at an FBS level. Shocking, right?
Wow.
yeah.
I
Who
wouldn't
would've
even guess, dude.
But I do have an interesting fact because I was really shocked when I saw this because of how good Georgia Southern and James Madison were in the FCS. They had not played each other since 1992.
How did that game end?
I don't remember, but Georgia Southern leads the series all time 7-1.
So let's just assume Georgia Southern won that game. But if
Yeah,
not, oh well.
Yeah, I would assume they did, but I was just shocked with how good each of those teams were for a long time in FCS that they had never each played each other in the playoffs or anything. So yeah,
Never matched up at the right time ever, I guess.
1992 is the last time they played. So
I'm trying to find
picked-
something. I don't know. James Madison has been on an absolute roll this year. Nothing's been close except for App State. I just like James Madison in this one. Best team in Virginia.
There is a Nebraska curse that is going on right now that is hitting everybody who's beaten Nebraska. And unfortunately for Georgia Southern, they have beaten Nebraska. And besides, even if that wasn't the case, they probably would still lose because James Madison, as Joey said, are on a fucking tear. So give me JMU to win, even though they're on the road.
Yeah. Georgia Southern's head coach is Clay Helton, so give me James Madison.
the James Madison curse has not hit everybody, or the Nebraska
Georgia-
curse.
The Nebraska curse.
No, North Dakota is doing pretty good.
This is teams who have beaten Nebraska.
Oh, sorry. I just assumed that they beat them.
Yeah.
We it's hit Oklahoma real hard. Let me tell you, it's hit Oklahoma bad.
That over under for that game is 67. God damn.
And they're expecting some points. My God.
Does James
Okay.
Madison give up points like that?
So 1992, James Madison, Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern won 24-17.
Oh wow! Look at that. Georgia Southern's won the most recent game.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, next 7:30 ABC again for Clemson. Number 4 Clemson travels to Florida State. Clemson has won the last 6 matchups between these two schools.
That dating back to 2015.
Clemson's only given up 30 points one time to Florida State since 2012. And this is the first time Florida State has started the season at least 4-2 since 2016.
Wow. I think Florida State's got a really good team this year. Clemson has highs and lows. I still think Clemson's fine. I think Clemson pulls this one out, but it'll be really, really close. If I'm betting on the line, I'd probably take Florida State because it's 3.5. But I think Clemson wins by a field goal. Probably 24-21.
I like that the opposite way. I'll take Florida State.
Whoa! I typed Clemson. Fuck. Why are you picking Florida State, by the way?
No football reasons. It just feels right.
Hates Clemson.
Just straight vibes.
Pretty much.
I don't think this game will remotely be close.
Yeah, I'm probably taking Clemson to win by like 10. I don't think it's going to be 2 out of him, but I think they'll win.
I think by at least 20. They win by at least 20.
A Tiger would eat a Seminole, so give me Clemson.
It has nothing like that.
Sure.
From talking to Florida State fans at the state game, they already did not have a good defense, and 4 starters during that game got injured.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting much from that team. I think they win by at least 20. I think
I'm expecting
the spread is a little skewed because of I think they're taking into account the NC State matchup for both teams.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of skewed a little bit.
I think it could be a shootout for a little bit, but Clemson might pull away. Still going Florida State, though.
Clemson's best part of their offense is their run. Florida State's best part of their offense. Florida State's best part of their offense is their run. And Clemson's run defense is maybe the best in the country. And so I just don't think that they'll have the ability to spread the offense for Jordan Travis to throw with
that's fair.
How they're going to get stuff. So I think Clemson wins. I don't think it's close. I've been wrong before, but
it seems like it's happened though.
I think the best run defenses in the country is whoever's playing Virginia Tech that week.
That sounds like personal.
It is.
Next, 7:30 p.m. SEC Network. Number 16 Mississippi State travels to number 22 Kentucky. Mississippi State is up 3-2 in the last 5. Couple interesting facts. Mississippi State's quarterback, William Rogers, now leads the SEC all-time in completions. He has only played 28 games, and he passed the previous holder, Aaron Murray, who took 52 games to achieve the same feat.
Yeah.
Wow.
His arm killing him after games.
Last time Kentucky played Mississippi State at home after losing at home, they won 24-2.
Jeez.
Which is in 2020. So the last time they were in this exact situation, they lost their last game at home. They're coming back. They're playing Mississippi State at home. They won the game.
Yeah, that's fine, but this Kentucky team is completely different, and they suck. So give me Mississippi State. Bulldogs scare Wildcats.
I don't think they do, but we'll
Yeah,
just
that's
stay down and act like we didn't say that.
Cats hate dogs. Dogs hate cats.
I'm pretty sure if a bulldog and a wildcat were put into a pen with each other, that we would have a dead bulldog.
yeah, very dead, very messy.
Yeah, but the Bulldogs have cowbells, and they're quite annoying.
Oh yeah, that changes the whole thing. So one thing I wanted to do was piss off a president.
Yeah, I'll probably go Mississippi State and that high impact air raid offense of theirs over Kentucky.
Yeah, ICBMs.
Kraigen pick.
Yeah, I wanted to believe in Kentucky, but it's not looking good for them. I'll probably take Mississippi State too.
Those words.
What the fuck was that? What did you just say for the whole first half of it?
You picked Mississippi State. That's all I know. It sounded like you said Blue Nuggy is not looking good for them. Mississippi State.
Yeah, no, that was supposed to be Kentucky.
You started literally.
We're not looking good this year.
You started talking like Coach O. Like I couldn't. Go Tigers!
All right, that's at a minute 15 if you want to watch that one back. An hour 15, sorry, not a minute 15.
Levi, it's a certified boom hour moment.
I'm picking Kentucky
Nice.
Just to be
for
different.
the stat. I'm
I
picking
want to pick them. I want to pick them just because it's Mike Leach at Mississippi State, but Mississippi State's probably going to win. They look pretty good.
I'm picking them for the stat. The stat of the last time this exact scenario happened, they won. I'm just picking it.
That is a pretty cool little fact there.
It just feels right. It feels right in every part of my body that you could stick right stuff in.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm gonna let that simmer there for a second. Have y'all think about that. 8:00 on Fox. Number 7 USC travels to number 20 Utah. USC has won the last, or they're up 3-2 in the last 5. Obviously Utah won the game last year against USC, so they're looking to go back to back. Utah, though, has not won back-to-back games versus USC since 1915-1916.
Gee. It's a long time to wait. Over 100 years.
Yeah, 107. And it ain't happening this year either. USC is winning this one. Give me them boys. Lincoln Riley and his squad.
Yeah, give me the Trojans. I trust Caleb Williams.
Kraigen.
Yeah.
He's picking Utah.
I'm looking at the schedule right now for USC, and
Oh my gosh.
I'll take Utah. They'll probably drop
I
to UCLA.
knew it!
Actually, no. USC. Sorry. I was looking at it wrong.
Oh, we put the fear in him.
No, I'll take USC. I think USC will drop the game to UCLA, and that'll be their loss in conference, but they beat Utah.
I take first answers only. All right, so game of the week. Saved it for last. We have a really good one. And it's gonna be a game. All right. So I'm gonna mention it, and then we're gonna talk about it a little bit. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. 8:00 New Mexico versus New Mexico State.
It
Okay.
is. What's that guy's name? Jim.
Mora Junior.
No.
UConn. Oh,
The
no.
guy who
Yeah,
was at TCU last year, now he's the head coach at New Mexico State.
Not Gary Patterson.
No,
Jimmy John.
Huh? Jimmy John?
Oh, TCU's head coach. I got no. Did he get fired?
Jerry
No.
Kill, not Jim. Jerry Kill is who I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Okay.
Patterson got fired, yeah, Levi.
Yeah. All right. But seriously, where is that? Oh, 3:30 CBS. Number 3 Alabama versus number 6 Tennessee, both undefeated. Alabama's won the last 15 games in this meeting. In that span, there's only ever been 2 one-possession games. So they've won every game except for 2 by more than 1 possession. And this is the highest Tennessee has been ranked since 2003.
Wow. We're witnessing history here.
Yeah, this season was fun while it lasted for Tennessee. Going to Alabama. Jumping from number 3 to number 1.
I think this is where Hendon Hooker finds his Heisman moment. Tillman's back this week. Their defense is not good. Alabama struggled against Texas A&M.
He's not.
Tennessee, no matter what.
He's not back. He's not back. Cedric Tillman's not back.
Is he not?
No.
I thought he was. I swear I thought they said he was only gone for a week. Regardless, they'll make it work. And then he'll make it work. Between that and their run game, they got this. Give me Tennessee over Alabama at home in Neyland.
Secondary things, but
give me the orange jumpsuits.
Okay, anybody with logic want to speak now?
It really all comes down to this.
Levi, that only leaves you.
Yeah, I'm ready to see a bunch of Vols fans cry in Neyland Stadium. So
it's really simple. Bryce Young plays, Alabama wins. Bryce Young doesn't play, Alabama doesn't win. Like it all comes to that.
Did you not just hear the 15-0 stat?
Yeah,
it's
but
about 16-0.
I mean, look, it's kind of a silly thing to say because they've won the last 15 games, most of those without Young. So I feel like they don't need Bryce Young.
I feel this year it's something different. I feel like they definitely need Bryce. If they struggled at home against Alabama without Bryce Young while facing a backup QB, I feel like facing Hendon Hooker on the road, I feel like you're definitely going to need your Heisman winning quarterback. But I'm assuming Bryce Young will play, so I will pick Alabama. But if Bryce Young doesn't play, I want the record to be known that I would pick Tennessee.
Greg McElroy said that he heard something from Alabama that they're 100% sure that Bryce Young is playing.
Then I'm picking Alabama.
I will write down Tennessee.
All right.
Bryce Young, Condoleezza Rice Young. I don't care. Give me Tennessee by 25.
Bryce Young, Chase Young, Steve Young, don't care. Give me Hendon Hooker by 50.
All facts, Cam. All facts.
Man, what a great slate of games on Saturday. Imagine having like an event this weekend, like getting married. Could not imagine.
Imagine not being in Knoxville. Could possibly be me.
I have not said who I think is going to win.
No, you've not.
This is either a spite pick at KME or not. You want to be spiteful. Does he want to go to Tennessee just to piss him off?
I'm just, chilling.
I feel like you're going to pick Alabama because when I said...
Well, tell us your thoughts on the game, Levi. Tell us what you think.
So assuming that everybody plays that's supposed to play, so Cedric Tillman's not playing.
Right.
So I'm gonna start it off with it's never smart to bet against Alabama. I'll just start it off with that.
Yeah.
However, for this particular game,
Too late.
it's a game that benefits the way Alabama plays defense benefits the way that Tennessee plays offense.
Yeah, I agree with that. The secondary is really shaky.
But for whatever reason, throughout pretty much all of Nick Saban's time at Alabama, regardless if he has 22 NFL players on the field or he has a paraplegic at quarterback, for some reason, and I guess you would call them big games. I'm talking about not against like rivals, but like against high-ranked opponents. They always show up like they didn't just play like pieces of shit the week before.
Yeah. Saban's
And-
also the DB coach, by the way, too. So he'll
Always-
be in areas all week.
It's always been like that. And until I see something different, I'm going to go Alabama. However, I can see I see the possibility and the way that Tennessee can win. It's just a matter of if the Tennessee has to play perfect, or as absolutely close to perfect as you can play.
Do you think Alabama has to play perfect as well then? As in, like, you can't afford to, like, turn the ball over even once?
Alabama. But here's the thing: is
More margin for error, basically, than
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Alabama, you can like, and it's a kind of a bad argument because you're going through history and they've had a lot better players than they have now and a lot better defenses. But you can always rely on their defense coming up big and making plays when needed to get their team back in the game, regardless if they're in Tuscaloosa or they're in Knoxville or they're in Gainesville or they're in Athens or they're in Atlanta. Like they always do it. And
Yeah,
so
historically, Tennessee's offense is terrible and can't tackle. So, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
And so I think that, you know, that Tennessee, the first step to winning this game is not turning the ball over, obviously, but even more so in this game.
Yeah. Going
and-
along with that a little bit.
On the bigger note of this is if they can't figure out a way to stop Will Anderson, then they might as well just call the game after the first quarter and let everybody go home.
Sleep on Dallas Hunter.
If they don't stop Will Anderson and they let Will Anderson come through, then there's no way that they can win. And I think, and I didn't realize this today, Tennessee's pass offense is ranked 128th in the country.
Yeah, because there's
Offense,
wait,
defense.
Their defensive, passing,
defense.
their defense against the pass is ranked 120th
Yeah, I
So-
believe it.
in the country. And Bryce, regardless of how he's played this year, is the reigning Heisman winner.
Yeah.
And
And
they have Jahmyr Gibbs in the back, who is more than capable of if he needs to be a pass catcher out of the backfield, he's more capable of doing it.
yeah, building off Jahmyr Gibbs too, I want to say it real quick. He's been relied on more, obviously, with Monroe playing for Young last 2 games, and he's stepped up really big time. He's averaging 9.2 yards a carry against Texas A&M and Arkansas.
I don't think he. This could be wrong. I don't think he's gonna do what he did against Arkansas and
Yeah, no.
A&M. He might. I mean,
A&M, yeah.
he's a great running back, and he's going to be a.
I don't think he'll do what he did against Arkansas, but A&M is definitely in the picture, I think.
I think he's a future first round pick. He's a great running back, and
criminally utilized at Georgia Tech. So
he can average
usually
5 yards. If he averages even 5 yards a carry, I don't think Tennessee has a chance because they need to absolutely stuff the run game.
Yeah,
to be able to on the pass game. If they can't stop Gibbs, they have no chance.
Yeah, but the way passing game has looked so far this year is pretty shaky. Even though Bryce Young did just win the Heisman, if they can't stop Gibbs, it might be a long night for them.
This game, I mean, I could easily see this game going to like
The wire.
49, 41, like just with like the power that each of them have offense, shakiness, and some sorts on defense. I can see it, but it's hard to bet against Alabama team in a big game.
Yeah, I will say though, if there's a year Tennessee will do it, it's this year. So,
it's definitely the year.
Speaking on their defense, their run defense is significantly better than their pass defense is.
It is, and and that makes kind of their passing stats skewed at 128 because teams know that they can just go in and pass against them.
Yeah.
Like LSU, Daniels threw for 300 and a touchdown, but he was also their leading rusher with 16 carries and 38 yards.
Okay, so two things with that one. One, Daniels didn't start getting all those yards till they were pretty much already down 30, 37.
Yeah.
LSU sucks. So their offense is struggling until garbage time.
Well after Tennessee stopped trying.
Yeah.
This is going to be. I mean, I can't think of a game in recent history that is as big for Tennessee as this game is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
one
huge.
program.
I mean, this defines, like, if Josh, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, is it Pupil?
Pupil, yeah, I think.
If he turns out to be, like, as far as it might be, it's laughable now, but if he were to turn out to be like the next big, like, great coach, this is going to be the game that people look at as the starting point for that.
Yeah. They keep getting better. Tennessee does. So this could be like a dynasty-defining game if they can manage it. So,
especially with Hendon Hooker, they have what's his name? The 5-star quarterback recruit coming in next year.
Oh, I don't know his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can never remember his name.
They're so on the up, and
he looks really good too.
They have what it takes to beat Alabama. However, it's hard to bet against Alabama, and so that's the only reason I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Any thoughts from you?
Both teams score over 44 points a game. Over 500 yards total.
Who the premier offenses in this nation?
Oh yeah, easily.
Man, I hope Penn State and Tennessee get it done, man. It'd be so great for college football if both of those teams.
You're exactly right, Cam.
We need it for the culture. We need those two teams to win.
I think that I think if you came up to me and you said that one of the two were going to win, I would probably pick Penn State. Like, if somebody walked up to you right now and said, like, they came from the future and they're like, I know for certain
that one of Penn State or Tennessee, which one would you think it is?
I think it's Tennessee.
I think it's Penn State.
Yeah, I'd probably think it's Tennessee too.
Wow.
This is probably like what the biggest like
That's-
home game for
That's
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
How long?
Since at least
Well,
2003.
I think it's Penn State for multiple reasons. One, Jim Harbaugh is fucking ass against top 10 teams.
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna say that he was just fucking ass and move on with it. He did.
I was gonna leave it at fucking ass. He's fucking ass. But like, has he like was Ohio State was top 10, but I think that's his only top 10 win, isn't it?
Yeah, he didn't beat Michigan State. Iowa wasn't top 10, and then lost to Georgia.
I'm pretty sure that's his only top 10 win since he's been at Michigan.
No, I think he got one in like 2018 against Wisconsin or Penn State.
Okay. But still, point stand, not good.
Yeah.
It's so that's the reason. If I were to guess, if I was told that one of them would win, I would probably pick Penn State. Would I rather it be Tennessee? Yeah, probably. But it's just it's to beat Tennessee or to beat Alabama, you have to have a really, really complete team.
Yeah, you got to play a complete game. It's
Yeah, and so I personally don't think they have complete enough team.
Yeah, their D-backs really lag a little bit.
What did you just say?
Huh?
What did you just say?
I think their defensive backs lack a little bit
Oh, I
from
thought
where
you
they
said they're
from where they need to be.
D-bags.
No, D-backs.
I thought you said they're D-bags. I was like, Jesus Christ. Just updated. In his history of coaching, Jim Harbaugh is 2-13 versus top 10 teams.
Beat number 8 Wisconsin 14-7 in 2016.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was
know.
one.
But yeah, 2-13 versus top 10 teams. 3-9 versus Ohio State and Michigan State, but he's not playing either one. I just wanted to throw that out there.
I think what is he like 3-2 against Penn State, or 3-3, something like that.
Well, they're 3-2 in the last 5, so it's pretty close. But yeah, I it's a top 10 game, something that Harbaugh's not great at. So, I think that's why I think Penn State's a higher chance. But yeah, the upset I want to see this week is hold on, let me get this score.
You gonna say NC State over Syracuse?
That is an upset, sadly, but no. Where is it? I can't find it.
but no, you don't want your team to win.
Oh, Iowa State over Texas. I want that upset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The Texas's back beams are just so great that I don't want them to go away just yet.
Every
They're going to
year.
get good eventually, but I want to hold on for as long as I possibly can to the Texas.
Yeah. It's like that Dallas Cowboys. Are you still
that,
for me?
Dallas Cowboys one is not going anywhere. That one is staying.
Yeah.
That has some lasting power.
That one's forever at this point.
An upset I'd really like to see is Virginia take over Miami. I really want to win. I doubt we get it, but I really want to.
I already said what upsets I want to see. Tennessee over Alabama and Penn State over Michigan, just because it'd be it'd be great for college football. And as an Ohio State fan, it'd be pretty fucking funny to see Alabama and Michigan fans sick as fuck because they lost their biggest games of the season so far.
I was gonna say Utah, but Utah's favored 3.5. So
Interesting fact: UConn and Oklahoma have the same amount of wins.
nice.
Did y'all see Florida International's field for this week?
No.
No.
It's like Vice City colors, like the pink and white.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I just saw a tweet about that like an hour ago. I didn't know it was international, but I remember seeing a field like that.
Yeah, all that just to lose the fucking UTSA. Like,
hey, we saw what happened with Arizona State once they changed up their field. They not smacked, but they beat Washington. They beat Washington.
Fuck it, they smacked them. Fuck you. Fuck you. Talked all that shit last week. Just running his mouth.
Yeah.
Ate it right in the ass.
Very true, yeah.
He was almost right on the Florida State one. I was stressed. I was like, I can't even make fun of Washington right now because we're so bad.
Yeah.
Yo, it was 17-3. I was like, Levi, bro, what is going on? How are you guys losing this badly?
Yeah, I was so mad. I was so fucking mad in the stand.
Yeah, I was so happy then you came back. So
I was happy.
Yeah.
I was afraid on your downfall and it didn't work.
And the thing is, we won that game with our backup quarterback because it was 17-10 when Leary went out. We actually won with the backup.
yeah.
If only Kansas could have said the same.
I would kill 4 infants to have Kansas's backup quarterback right now.
That is very specific. Someone who that is very specific, especially in your situation right now.
I didn't specify whose infants. I just said 4 infants. 4 infants I don't care about or love.
All right. Anything else we need to talk about? Anything going on? Anything
Heisman?
noteworthy? I think this past weekend didn't really shake anything up. I think this coming weekend will really shake some things up.
Yeah, this is a Corum and Hooker prime. This is their chance right here. This is to get them in the top 3 to solidify the top 3 status for both of them.
I disagree. I thought this week really put a lot of stuff into the Heisman race. Not for like the main ones, obviously, like Hendon Hooker, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud. Those ones. Bryce Young obviously didn't play, so I mean he's gonna stay. But I think on the back end, I thought it did a lot. I thought, I think a lot of people now are considering DTR.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's got a legit shot now. You got Minnesota lost last week with Mo Ibrahim out, so
I think a lot of people are trying.
He's back. They win.
I think a lot of people are starting to put Jahmyr Gibbs up into the Heisman race.
Yeah, I think
about that, but
he's tied with Adrian Martinez, 9th best odds, I think, right now.
So I mean, I think that maybe not maybe not for the top 3 that are probably going to end up going. Right now, probably still most people would have Hendon Hooker, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
but I think for people starting to sneak up there, especially DTR. I mean, UCLA right now. They beat Oregon. DTR is gonna have everything he needs to make a Heisman run.
Honestly, if UCLA and USC are undefeated, whoever wins that game, that quarterback's probably going to New York.
No, whoever wins that game, I think, is winning it.
Yeah.
To be honest,
That's a bold take.
I mean, I think they do. I think if as fucked up as it could be, I think a lot of voters are that would be very inviting to a quarterback that isn't from a traditional Heisman winning school.
Yeah, I think
Um,
USC is.
So then it would have to be DTR instead of
USC is, but not recently.
No, not
Yeah.
recently. Not
Yeah,
since. Who was their last Heisman winning quarterback? Leinart?
Yeah,
Carson Palmer.
No, Reggie Bush.
Oh yeah, that's right, Reggie Bush.
So I mean, that's 17 years ago.
Yeah, I was
Um,
05. Yep.
But I think
We count Reggie Bush's Heisman. Don't worry.
I think that there's I guess there's kind of maybe levels to it. If CJ Stroud is 50 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, it's just outrageous, then it's probably not going to be close.
Yeah. And with his
But-
schedule, he could run away with it. With
But if
Stafford.
you come to conference championship week, and UCLA is undefeated, or USC is undefeated, with their quarterback balling out, I think they might just if it's close enough, I think they might ship it out west.
Yeah. And to that point, too, they could play twice this year if they both make it to the playoffs. Or not the playoffs, but the conference championship.
Yeah, because they don't.
Yeah, so
Shit, dude. Oh my god,
they could both play each other in Las Vegas.
that's a great point.
It's in Las Vegas now.
Yeah. It's at the Raiders Stadium now.
Yeah.
Is it like permanently there, or is it just like a one-time thing?
Well,
Is
they-
it what?
Is it a permanent thing that they're playing at Allegiant Stadium, or is it just a one-time
Yeah.
game?
Permanent. Levi's is done. We're not playing San Francisco anymore.
That's shitty environments I heard over there anyway.
It just wasn't. It's not a good location.
Shitty stadium.
But yeah, especially if you come down at conference championship, you already got an undefeated UCLA versus USC matchup, and then you get to the conference championship, and you got an undefeated versus one-loss team in the conference championship,
But yeah.
and you win that game twice in an impressive manner. Shit.
But yeah.
CJ Stroud only plays like fucking
Nobody.
in the fucking conference championship. I'm just saying. I think it's possible. Now, if you were still to ask me who I think wins Heisman this year, it's CJ Stroud. But
Oh, yeah, for sure.
um,
That is an interesting storyline to keep an eye on if they can stay undefeated.
Yeah, that's if the Pac-12 doesn't cannibalize themselves like they usually do every year.
That's why I was looking at USC's schedule, because they're going to drop one. It's either going to be Utah or UCLA, probably. So
I hope not.
yeah, that'd be really cool if they didn't, because they'd be the first team in the Pac-12 era to not drop a game. They'd be the first team undefeated through Pac-12 play. So
Didn't Oregon do it last year?
no, nobody's done it in the Pac-12 era.
I feel like someone was like really close to it and did it.
No, Chip Kelly's teams probably were close, but because they went to the playoffs. But no, nobody's done it.
Imagine if USC runs the table and then they lose to Notre Dame to end the year. That'd be the funniest thing.
Yeah,
I just want as many good games as possible. To be honest with you,
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
and I don't really care what conference they're in, regardless if they play fake football in the West or.
yeah, like in the Big Ten.
I just want as many good games as possible. So I mean, if now I have to sacrifice Utah and Oregon to do it, then that's fine by me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would sacrifice.
we'll get some true
and
big
mother.
teams controlling the Pac-12 again.
Yeah, it's been kind of meh for the last several years. But
I do have. I will say because last week I said if I were to vote for Heisman right now, I would Hendon Hooker. But I'm actually going to change that. If the vote were to happen this week, I would actually vote for Caleb Williams.
Not DTR.
After last game with Caleb Williams, I'd probably he's had a lot of.
Oh look, if DTR goes to Eugene, Oregon, and fucking terrorizes them,
Yeah.
then yeah, DTR is gonna be right there. But for right now,
Stetson Bennett like performance against Oregon if he does that.
oh my god, if they go to Oregon,
you think you're probably bad, but
if they go to Oregon and they beat the shit out of Oregon like Georgia beat the shit out of Oregon,
yeah,
then
hopefully
not
do.
only is DTR going to be right there, they're going to pole vault UCLA into the top 5.
Yeah.
We're Clemson then, man. Damn.
So even if Alabama wins this week and Tennessee keeps it close, whatever, and then Tennessee goes to Georgia and wins in Athens, do you have an Alabama-Georgia type situation from the last few years where they both make the playoffs?
I don't think they do this year, right now, based on what's happening.
Since the Pac-12 is doing well, there's a good team in the Big Ten.
So,
Yeah.
The way both teams are playing.
yeah, neither has been dominant like they were in the past when they both made it. So I don't know if they.
Yeah,
There's also potential of a three-way tie in the Big Ten East with Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. If they do the round robin between them.
After what's happened with the Big Ten in the playoffs, they're not putting 2 teams in. That's not going to happen. They get embarrassed real quick.
The only way I can see it,
Really not counting 2020, though. I'm not counting it. Not in my book.
the only way it were to happen, it would happen right now is if Oklahoma State completely fucking loses the season.
Yeah.
Because either Georgia, Alabama is 1.
TCU is undefeated
Actually,
too.
I'll do this. Either Georgia, Alabama, or Tennessee is 1. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio State or Michigan is 2. Clemson is 3. And then you would say USC 4?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So, I mean, there's 4. But again, as the season progresses, someone in this top 7 is bound to really fuck up. Obviously, Ohio State and Michigan play each other, but that's not going to affect the ranking too much. But someone in this top 7, I guess either Tennessee or Alabama do have to lose. But
It would have to be Tennessee.
Even
though.
if it's close, though, Tennessee or Alabama probably won't drop off much at all. So
Yeah.
No, Tennessee would probably drop to
They probably
10,
drop to 10. Well,
9.
based on
9.
if Michigan loses to Penn State and Tennessee loses to Alabama, who is going to be the lower of the two?
Between who?
Michigan and Tennessee.
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
You mean lower as in like
Who like Tennessee's 8 and Michigan's 9? Like who's going to be lower ranked out of the two?
Michigan would be the 9 team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, no. Well, in general, that's how I would do it. But again, if Michigan goes out and they lose 23-20 and Tennessee goes out and they lose 49-17, then you're going to drop Tennessee further.
Well, yeah I'm assuming both games are close, like they're 1-possession games or something like that.
Yeah, then Michigan,
yeah.
Michigan would drop further. You can't, you would penalize the team that lost to a team that's getting first place votes less than you would to a team that lost to the number 10 team.
Yeah.
That's what Penn State would be, though, if they win this. Wouldn't they be like what they could be like right next to Clemson, honestly? They could be 6th.
I don't know. I wouldn't put them over USC.
No, they would be 6th. No. Yeah, they would be 6th. Because Because
If
USC
Tennessee
would
were
be
to
5.
lose, yeah.
USC would be 5, and Penn State would be 6. So yeah, they're right. He's right.
Although Oklahoma State, though, if they win, will you just keep them at 7?
Look, yeah. I mean, at
Essentially,
this
you're just dropping Tennessee and putting those two teams up.
look at this point, if they weren't willing to put Michigan down for not beating a single fucking ranked team, then they're not going to move Oklahoma State up for being TCU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though TCU's undefeated too.
The Duggan train is like that. If you can derail that, you might get boosted up.
No, like yeah. I mean, you said TCU's undefeated, and I get it, but Michigan hasn't played anybody all season, and regardless of who Tennessee beats and who USC beats, they're not moving Michigan down. They just now moved Clemson above Michigan this week, even though Clemson has played far better teams than Michigan has played.
Yeah.
And so the only way Tennessee is to go up is if they were to beat Alabama or if they were to beat Georgia.
Yeah.
So Michigan's not moving. As long as Michigan wins, they're staying there. The only, again, USC is going to go and they're going to beat Utah, in my opinion. And they're going to go right to 6, and they're going to leave Michigan right there. Especially because Michigan is 100 points ahead of them in the rankings.
Yeah. Truth.
Man, this is just going to be such a great week. A great Saturday.
It is. There's a lot of good stuff to happen.
Imagine if the only team to go undefeated is James Madison and they can't do anything.
No bowl game. No
That'd be-
championship for the Sun Belt.
You can claim a national championship.
I'd claim the fucking shit out of that national championship if I was a James Madison fan.
Yeah.
I think it's absolute bullshit that is a rule.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
It's
If you
such-
play in the conference, you should be eligible. That's just stupid.
It's such a dumb fucking rule. They can't win their conference because they decided to come into the conference. What kind of logic is that?
They're giving the conference money now and they can't win it.
It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And I know that, it's become... But, the thing I don't understand is... I mean, I guess why, but, other teams have come up and did not have this, issue. Like, Georgia Southern, when they came up, they won the Sun Belt their first year. Marshall won the MAC their first year back in the FBS. So, I don't understand why. I don't get why it's a rule. I don't fucking know.
I don't either. It's just something stupid.
There's got to be some sort of, reason behind it.
If there's not a good one.
They just made the rule and everybody's like, oh, okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
There has to, there's, I just want to know what the, explanation behind it is.
Well, why don't you write the Sun Belt nest then?
But it's not just a Sun Belt. They can't fucking go to a bowl. So obviously,
I
the
know.
NCAA
I think that's stupid too. But it's been like that for at least they're at least the second team that's had to happen. You win 6 games and you can't make a bowl game.
Georgia Southern went to a bowl game the first year. So I just don't understand.
Liberty was not allowed to the first 2 years.
I know, yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is, I don't understand where. You know what? Fuck it. I'm looking it up. It really fucking pisses me off. I'm not even a James Madison fan, but it pisses me off.
Best team in Virginia, baby.
I thought you hated JMU fans.
That was App State.
Yeah, App State.
No, James Madison fans. That was more of a. That was more of an in the moment thing because we did play them. I don't remember 2017. I think we played them. Their fans were. I guess it was just more like talking shit. I mean, they ended up losing and they took it well, so they're fine. But no, fuck App State fans. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm too tired to look up this. I'll look it up when I have a working brain.
That's all right. I think it's about time we wrap up this episode anyway.
Yeah, no, we'll have a good time trying to edit all this stuff. This is like 2.5 hours long or 2 hours long.
It's
He's
we're
gonna-
at 2 hours and 18 seconds right now.
Yeah, you think he edits it? It's crazy.
For the viewers, they don't know how much hard work our editor puts in making this podcast episode go.
Yeah, our ghost editor.
Kraigen said we had to go because he had to go sacrifice his cousin. So
Yeah. All right. That'll
Okay.
do it for this week of this episode of the Shades of Red podcast. Hopefully we'll all meet back on Monday next week if available. If not, we'll find another day and post it then. But until next week, we'll see what happens this weekend. And take care.